Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's DLloyd. So round one of the NBA draft was last night. We have round two later on tonight, but I'm gonna give my quick recap of the draft because it was actually a pretty entertaining draft for a draft class known as, a weaker draft class in recent years. There's really no clear-cut number one based off of how everything was shaking out. It looked like Richard Sherman was going to end up being the first overall pick with Alex Sarr declining to work out with the Atlanta Hawks, which pretty much means that was going to be the pick. So it ended up going that way. We did see Reed Shepard, Kentucky alum, going third overall to the Houston Rockets. I think Reed Shepard probably might be the best U.S. player in this draft class, but I'm biased. Y'all know I graduated from Kentucky, man, so I do have the biasness. But I'm here to talk about some of the teams I thought won and some of the teams that I thought missed a little bit in the draft, because Ron Holland went fifth overall to the Detroit Pistons. Now, I am a fan of Ron Holland's game. However, I don't think Ron Holland to the Pistons is necessarily a great fit. And that's the only reason I'm going to put them in they lost, because taking them at 5, you could have easily moved back and maybe picked up another pick or a future pick and then still got Ron Holland. I was looking at him going late lottery, so you could have moved back really between 10 and like 15 in that range. And I think Ron Holland would have been available at those spots. But you go up there, you get your guy early. I respect it. Saloon going to the Charlotte Hornets. I think he's a boomer bust type of guy. Crazy potential, really low floor. I don't mind that pick as much because the potential is definitely there, but not a huge fan at it at 6. So I understand it. Not a huge fan of it for the Charlotte Hornets. Donovan Clingan is a guy that I think he fits somewhat of a need, right? In Portland, you get a 7'3" guy. He really doesn't do much to me. He has a limited game. He's a good dunker. Leave him in dunker spot. Let him roll to the basket, but doesn't really have a great post game. His size does allow him to be a solid defender, but I don't know. I'm just not huge on him. I know some people have him, and this is one of those draft classes where there's no concrete, right? This guy's the top guy, or this guy's this good. You're going to see one guy rank somebody as a top 5 guy, another guy rank him as he's like 20. You know what I mean? It's one of those weird draft classes. So for me, I'm not too high on him. Rob Dillingham going 8th, I think is a little bit of a stretch, but I believe Rob Dillingham has the potential of being a 6th man of the year. Now, what makes me excited now all of a sudden for Minnesota is because Minnesota traded up to get that pick. Now, I would have thought it was a little bit of a stretch if he would have stayed in San Antonio, but once I seen the trade and he was going to Minnesota for his 2030 and 2031 first round pick, first of all, I don't know what 10-year-old San Antonio is scouting that they are ready to go get in 2031, but Rob Dillingham going to Minnesota is a crazy steal. Like I said, it would have been a reach for San Antonio, but it's all about fit and it's all about what you gave up. The Timberwolves are a young team that looks to compete for years to come. So for them, you get Rob Dillingham, who I'm saying definitely has 6th man of the year potential. I don't think he'll ever be a crazy starter, but the man gets buckets, right? He's like a Malik Monk, I think, but better. So you now get him there. He is a bucket getter with the mentality that is going to go along great in Minnesota, especially with Anthony Edwards. I think that's a slam dunk pick. Zach Edey going to the Grizzlies. It makes sense for the standpoint you get front court help, you get another big body there, but I'm not convinced of Zach Edey in his game. So I think that's where I'm a little mixed there. Nikola Topic going to OKC at 12 is a slam dunk as well. Now, some people have him as a top 5 talent. I agree. I think the talent for him is there. We know about the injuries, especially to the knees, the lower body injuries. We haven't seen him, in the US play. But when you look at his game, he has a grounded game, but it's really good. It's a refined game. And in this type of draft class, when you see that skill set there, you got to rank him up a little bit higher. I love this draft pick for OKC. I think that's a slam dunk pick. I'm not high on Devin Carter and the Kings. Let's just talk about the Kings and guards. I don't know what's up with them in guards, but when I seen Devin Carter go, my immediate reaction went to, what's going to happen with De'Aaron Fox, because we heard reports that he's not going to sign the extension. He wants to see where this team shapes and how it's looking before he signs that extension. So going and get another guard in Devin Carter, it raises some eyebrows, right? You don't necessarily know where he's going to go to with there. Bud Carrington or Carlton Carrington going to Washington, 14th. I think it's okay. It's okay. Ware going to Miami. I think it's a great pick. I like him as a center. I think he's one of the better bigs in this draft. That's not saying much. I don't think it's a big, like a front court heavy draft, but him going to Miami, I think he'll fit a role. I think he'll be able to learn from that organization, and I think he will end up being a solid pick. We know what Miami does with their players, and I think Ware is another guy that will show out and have those moments, even this year, of looking like a very good player. Now, of course, we have to talk about Dalton Knecht going to the Lakers at 17. Dalton Knecht, to me, top 10 guy. I think as high as 6 on some mock drafts. I thought for sure he would have been the top 10 guy because the way he could shoot. Now, this is a guy going to the Lakers. Personally, you guys know I'm a Lakers fan. Just personally speaking, I was conflicted because I knew he was the best guy available at that moment. Once Ware went, because I wanted the Lakers to go get a big, so I was looking at Khalil Ware. But once he went, Dalton Knecht was still sitting there at 17. You had to take that chance because this guy's a bucket getter. Now, he dropped 40 on my Wildcats. And that it was the moment I was like, I don't really like this kid, not because he wasn't good, just out of pure hatred and hating on how good he was, because we couldn't stop him. We couldn't stop him, and really no team could stop him. He dropped 37 in the Elite Eight. This kid could get buckets. And going to the Lakers, where the Lakers, yes, they shot a good percentage from three, but they were never a great three-point shooting team in terms of they don't shoot that many. You get a guy that can space the floor. But on top of that, he can just create his own shots. And I think having a player like that on this Lakers roster, the Lakers have severely and desperately been looking for a player like this. He's 23 years old. I think he comes in, he'll be ready to work. He has that experience, and he knows how to score. All that combined, I love it. Jacoby Walter going down at 19 also for the Toronto Raptors. I thought was a solid pick. He was a top-rated player out of high school. He shot lights out from three. He needs to add to his game, but I do like Jacoby Walter. Him going to Toronto at 19, I thought was a solid pick. Going down again to Terrence Shannon Jr. That's the one guy I want to talk about. Going to Minnesota. Again, Minnesota killed the draft last night. This is a guy that we just seen average 23 points a game. He is a dog, and him staying or going to a team like Minnesota that just gets more scoring off the bench, a good organization, great coaches, great players, a great culture. I mean, between him and Rob Dillingham, they killed it. I definitely love the picks. And then Isaiah Collier going 29 to Utah. I also think that's somewhat of a steal. Again, a kid highly thought of coming out of high school, didn't perform necessarily great at USC, but you see the talent and the potential is there in this class. That's the type of stuff you're looking for, right? So him going that late, 29, I thought was a solid pick. But man, I would say the winner of the first round was the Minnesota Timberwolves, with the Lakers being a close second. This was the type of player they desperately needed, but I'm gonna give the nod to Minnesota for winning it, man. Entertaining first round. I'm still not sure how I feel about the NBA splitting up, the first and second rounds, things like that, but we'll see how second round goes today. Still some guys out there. We'll see where Bronny goes, if he ends up going to the Lakers, Justin Edwards, players like that. We'll see where they end up falling tonight. But you guys let me know who won the first round for you, who lost the first round. Let me know some of the surprises, the disappointments, all that good stuff, man. Let me know in the comment section below. As usual, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please do me a favor. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. It's DLloyd. I'm see y'all next time. Peace.